Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And today we are doing the NFL standings predictions for the 2025 NFL season. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the NFC East. Let's start with the NFC East. All right. My Eagles division. Let's see what we got. So this one, if you want to discard it because you feel like, oh, this is just your bias talking, it doesn't really mean nothing, that's fine. I respect that. I get annoyed by bias takes too. But I'm going to try to explain it so it doesn't seem like I'm just not going from a purely biased standpoint, So, I have the Eagles winning the division. And I not only did this because no team in the NFC East has gone back-to-back in the division for a while, but there's other reasons. But let me just go through the standings so we can figure this out, alright? Then I got the Cowboys. Then I got the Commanders. Then I got the Giants. So let's start bottom up. Giants, Daniel Jones come back from an injury. Looks kind of bad. Really bad. And he was not great before. And I like the addition of Malik Nabers. You finally get him like some serious receiving help. I think their defense is going to be honestly pretty okay. But I just don't think they're there. There's too many questions with this team. There's too many problems with the quarterback, the running back situation. Like they bring in Devin Singletary, but you lose the guy who was driving your offense last year and who was your team's MVP for the longest time. That you don't just replace. It's gonna take a toll on you, right? So I just, it's a tough division. I just don't think they're gonna be ones that's gonna be able to fight through it, And then I got the Commanders. And the Commanders I don't hate as much as everyone else does as far as how good they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they're going to be like all right. Although I personally would have picked Drake May over Jaden Daniels, probably. I don't dislike Jaden Daniels. Like he's an older prospect. He kind of throws his body on the line probably a bit too much. Maybe there's not a lot of it's tough to know like if he'll be like NFL quarterback material, But what I saw from him in the preseason, I've loved his arm so far. He's got an arm on him, and it's been pretty accurate. Like not like I've seen some really good throws from him, and it's promising. And I think if you just let him run around, you got Terry McLaurin, you got guys that you can do a little with, right? You're gonna have Austin Eckler. He's a pretty polarizing player, but it's gonna help you with receiving out of the backfield. Do those little dump offs, get you more comfortable, get you that safety blanket, and I just think he'll be okay. The defense could be okay, could be really bad too. The defense honestly could be really bad. It's a Dan Quinn's there, so he's always run good defenses. But like the signings have just been so random. Like I like Frankie Louvu. I'm not a big Bobby Wagner fan at this point of his career. I don't think he adds much, right? And they've just had a bunch of like random players, and they like these random names they kind of threw in a pot and signed. Jeremy Chin was another one they got. And I just don't know how it all works together, fits together to make them a whole lot better. So that's why I have them at 3. And then Cowboys at 2. There's just so many questions with the Cowboys. I mean, you could say the 3 top players, Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and Dak Prescott, all having, not having new contracts would light a fire under them. But also, the question is, CeeDee Lamb even going to play without a contract? And Jerry Jones has all been like, there's no urgency. I'm like, well, there is going to be urgency if your best player isn't playing, right? CeeDee Lamb has been ridiculous He's played at the level of a top 5, top 3 wide receiver. And to just not pay him and just say, meh. When you trade Amari Cooper for a 6th round pick because you had CeeDee Lamb, you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire. Say what you want about Dak Prescott. He's a really good quarterback, a great quarterback. Postseason, we can talk about that. But to get you to a spot, you need a really good quarterback. And a guy like Dak Prescott is not easily replaceable, especially when you're probably not going to get a number 1 overall draft pick. And I don't even know how good the quarterback draft class is of this upcoming draft. So it's like, man, I don't know if this says a lot about this year, but it's like, is everyone going to play? I think Dak's going to play. No, Micah Parsons is going to play. But it's like, is CeeDee Lamb going to play? What's the situation there? If you're missing camp stuff, missing all this, and it's like this contract negotiations and stuff going on, and it's not working, you're not coming in on the best foot, right? And the amount of players they lost, and they didn't add anyone. They really didn't add anyone. It's concerning because they had holes. They got blown out in the playoffs for a reason, and it's, I don't know. I think they're always going to be good. They're always going to get their 10 plus wins. I just don't see them being like the best in the division with all this happening. I have the Eagles at the top. Howie Roseman does a good idea of seeing there's an issue and saying, okay, let me just add a bunch of stuff and make it okay, kind of thing. The linebacker room is always going to be our weakness. And he didn't fix 100%, but I think it's fine, right? Devin White, he seems motivated. He seems healthy. He seems like he's only 26, right? Like, you kind of think he's been in the league forever. He's probably like 30 now. He's 26, and I think he's gonna have a chip at his shoulder to get better. I'm not saying he's gonna be a Pro Bowl level linebacker, but I think he'll be serviceable. I think he'll be good. Nakobe Dean's been looking good. It's all about, can he stay on the field? I don't know. Jordan Davis, we're waiting for that leap. I hope he can make that leap, man. Because if he does, we've seen flashes. If he does, he can be a monster. Jalen Carter's going to be a menace. He's going to be a top defensive player very, very soon. And then Quinion Mitchell has looked so good. Oh my goodness. He's probably going to start, right? He's probably going to start. So your cornerback room's already looking better. Your linebackers are looking better. Bryce Huff coming in, he's a beast. And then on offense, you got the same guys as Saquon Barkley. And Cam Jurgens, I've liked what I've heard from him. It's hard to evaluate a center, but I think he's a guy who knows the system. He's studied under Kelsey, so I think he's the best shot you have at replacing a guy like Kelsey for this year. So I have high hopes. I really do. I think I'm thinking the best for the Eagles. I'm thinking around maybe 12, 13 wins again. That'd be pretty cool. So, next one. I don't want to spend too much time on each division, but we're going to keep rolling. NFC South, Falcons, first place. Bucks, Saints, Panthers. Falcons, add Matthew Judon. They've added a lot of pieces on the defense. I like the defense a lot, right? New head coach from the Rams. Super good at a super good defensive mind, right? Bring him in with these tools. I think it's going to be good. I really do. Kirk Cousins, 36-year-old coming off the injury that he came off of. It's up in the air, but I think he'll be solid enough to get the weapons they have involved that haven't been able to get involved, like Kyle Pitts. You're just going to hope to see more from Drake London, Bijan Robinson, right? Algier. Just so many tools that they can utilize and really maximize the full potential with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins, which they haven't had, regardless of the Michael Penix situation, right? Bucks, I think they're still a solid roster, right? Do I expect Baker Mayfield to have the same good year? Not necessarily, especially when you lose a guy like Dave Canales. That stuff hurts. As an Eagles fan, I know play colors like that, losing them, it hurts. It does. And Todd Bowles, wishy-washy on the coaching side. But I got them finished at second. Saints, I really don't like what the Saints do ever. Like, they settle for mediocrity. They're in so much cap debt hell. It's ridiculous. It's nearly $80 million. They keep restructuring these contracts. And, like, they're still struggling from the Drew Brees era. That's how bad it is, right? And Derek Carr is just not good anymore. Spencer Rattler, like, if he comes in, I don't know. Right? Chris Olave is like their bright spot. But I think Panthers, you know what? I'm going to say Panthers finish third. Saints finish fourth. I think Bryce Young has a bounce back year. I think their additions to the offensive line, not perfect, but it helps. I think the defense is going to be better. I like their additions on the offense, right? I think they're going to be better. I think Bryce Young is going to have a year to settle in. He's going to have Dave Canales, the QB whisperer, as his head coach. I think he's going to be better. I think they're going to win some games. Third place, all right? NFC West, Niners, Cardinals. Rams, Seahawks. Rams lose Aaron Donald. That was a lot of their defense. You don't know how much a guy like Aaron Donald impacts your defense until you see them gone, and I think that's what we're going to see. Seahawks, really good defensive line. Geno Smith, who are you going to get, right? It's kind of up in the air, and Sam Howell is not exactly, like, really reassuring me for the backup spot. Their wide receivers are great. Really good trio there. I don't see them doing that well in this kind of division. The 49ers are going to be the 49ers. They're stacked. They're still stacked. Defense, offense. Even though losing Brandon Ayuk would be an issue. That would be a problem. And I think I could easily reassess things if they lose Brandon Ayuk and it's just not the same. Right? Because a guy like Brock Purdy, good decision maker, but he needs weapons. He needs decisions to be made. And then the Cardinals. I know it's a shocker. Jonathan Gannon's a pretty good defensive mind regardless of how I think about him. So I expect the defense to be good, to be okay. Maybe not like great, but I think they'll be good. And Kyler Murray getting Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, I just think they're going to be really good. I really do. And we know from the Eagles game they have a run game. I think Kyler Murray silences some haters and has a really good year. I look out for the Cardinals, y'all. We'll look out for the Cardinals. Just wait. All right. NFC North, tough division to kind of analyze and figure out. Packers, Jordan Love, coming back for another season on that big contract. You get a Josh Jacobs replacement with Jamal Adams. I don't know how much that really changes, but okay. I think they're pretty much like similar tiers. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that move. But defense got better. You got Xavier McKinney in there. I just think they're a complete roster. I think Jordan Love is going to take another step. And I just think they're the most stable team. Bears, I have second. They built a really good team, all right? The defense looks really, really good, right? Well, let me slow down. Their defense looks a lot better. Montez Sweat, I like that threat off the edge, right? Their linebackers with Edwards, Edmonds, they got a good linebacking core. Jalen Johnson is his name, the star corner, lockdown corner. They just have a really complete defense, and I think people around the Bears are saying like that it could be really scary. We haven't even talked about the offense with Caleb Williams looking like a pro already. The game is he's just letting it come to him, and he's just like kind of doing his thing. So I think he's gonna be really good from day one. Their three wide receivers, they have Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. Well, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, I think is the best trio you could ask for to start out your career. DeAndre Swift is a explosive playmaker, and they have Khalil Herbert as their other running back. Just explosive roster. offensive line is up in the air, but I think it'll be okay. I do. Then I have the Lions. I'm always a bit like hesitant to place the Lions high because I just think they got better adding DJ Reader, and you keep your offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, which is a big deal. Like, I thought he was gone, but keeping him is a big deal. So they're gonna have a good offense again. But I don't know. I think I just like the Bears more. I really do. And then Vikings, they have a really good roster. But if you had to pick one team of this tough division to put last, it's probably going to be the one with Sam Darnold as your starter. Yeah, although I think he's not going to do terrible, AFC East, we're in the AFC now. Funny thing is, I started recording this and I talked about the first two divisions of the AFC, but then I forgot to hit record. But, anywho, Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. Bills, it's Josh Allen. They're gonna. I think I like their little additions at wide receiver. I think it's gonna be okay. I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy, but I think it's gonna give them enough to work with. James Cook has looked good, right? Defense, lots of changes to that. But I think when you have a Sean McDermott defense, you're always gonna expect him to perform and figure it out, because he's just that good of a defensive mind. Same with the Jets. I put them at second. Aaron Rodgers, I'm just going to assume he's going to be healthy. Guessing he's going to be healthy. Hoping for the Jets' sake he is. But also I like their backup situation with Tyrod Taylor a lot better than last year. And their offensive weapons are really good. Garrett Wilson. Need I say more, right? And they just got a lot of weapons there. They added Mike Williams. Breece Hall is just... really good running back, So I don't know. I think they're going to be really good, and their defense is going to be elite again. Now, you hope Hassan Reddick is there to have that edge threat, because Eagles have their edge threat in Bryce Huff. So, you're hoping for the Jets, I guess. I don't have a dog in the fight or anything. But I think if that's the case, they're going to be better than the Dolphins, who explosive offense as always. Questions the defense, so I'm just not comfortable with putting them over the Jets as a complete team, and the Patriots are just in a rebuilding year. Got to see what they have in Drake May. First year head coach. We'll see, right? I think it's going to be a rebuilding year for sure. AFC South, my surprise division. Texans, keeping them on top. CJ Stroud, going to take the other leap. They add Stephon Diggs to having Tank Dell and Nico Collins. Both broke out on the scene last year. Running back situation, they have Joe Mixon. Not a huge fan, but I think it's fine. They're going to do... Sloke's probably going to do more passing anyway. Defense, they added Danielle Hunter. They added these pieces to an already pretty good defense. And I think they're going to be really good. I think they're going to contend. I really do. Second place, I have the Titans, which had a really impressive offseason to me, right? I love who they added. I really do. I love that they just went for it. They said, you know what? We don't know how Will Levis is really going to do, but we're going to make sure he has all the tools he needs to be successful. And if not, we know we did everything we need and we just get another quarterback, figure that out, and then easier said than done, but just we have a good roster, right? You bring Calvin Ridley to a receiver core with DeAndre Hopkins. You don't know what you really have in Treylon Burks. He hasn't stayed on the field. He hasn't looked great on the field. So Calvin Ridley, good sign, right? Titans, they already had Tajay Spears as their running back, but they bring in Tony Pollard to replace a Derrick Henry. Not replace, but now you have another tandem. It's going to be pretty good probably. Lloyd Cushenberry is the center. Gave him big money, but it's short of that center, short of the offense line. Okay, Sebastian Joseph Day, solid defensive tackle, always good to short of the front seven, win in the trenches, right? Some other highlights: Kenneth Murray Jr. has been a promising linebacker that hasn't really broke out onto the scene, but hey. And I loved how aggressive they were in the secondary, bringing Chidobe Awuzie and trading for L'Jarius Sneed from the Chiefs in a sign-in trade. I just think now you feel a lot more comfortable with that secondary, which was pretty rough. And I love the aggressiveness. I really, really do. And I think it's going to pay off. I think spending and being aggressive pays off when you do it right. And I think they hit the right areas. I really do. Colts, amazing front seven, good team. I think the offense is up in the air because I love Anthony Richardson, but will he stay healthy? How good will he be? That all depends. Just too many question marks for me to put them too high. And the Jaguars, I like the Jaguars, but they don't move me as much as the other teams do as far as what they've done to fix the collapse that happened last year. And I need like an MVP year from Trevor Lawrence to really like move me. He's been good, but I need him to be great. Great. AFC West, Chiefs, they're going to win the division. I mean, need I say more? They got better at the wide receiver position. Although Hollywood Brown got hurt, but he brings Xavier Worthy. It's going to be better than they had last year. Chargers, bad roster. But, like, if Justin Herbert, I know he's dealing with some foot thing, I think. Some foot injury. But it's like, I still trust him more than the Raiders and the Broncos. Raiders, I don't know what they're doing. They got good pieces, but it's like, can you put it together? And your quarterbacks is Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. I'm not moved. And the Broncos, top to bottom, just a bad team. I mean, you draft Bo Nix, and I've spoken out I'm against that pick because I just don't think that's where he was valued. You could have got better players at that value. So Broncos last place. Yeah. AFC North, another tough division, hard to predict. I got Ravens. They add Derrick Henry, right? They lost some players, but they're pretty much running back the same team, plus Derrick Henry. Similar situation to the Eagles, except they were already good. So, Ravens. Bengals have some question marks, but when Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, right? They're going to will you to some games, right? Then the Browns, Deshaun Watson is terrible, but the defense is really good. So that's going to move them to 3 for me. I think the overall team is really good, but Deshaun Watson is not. And Jameis Winston, if like something happens, if he comes in, I'm not extremely confident in that replacement. And last place, the Steelers. I like the Steelers. I like their defense a lot. TJ Watt, of course. The quarterback situation and the wide receiver situation is just like, I think Russell will do okay. I just don't know how much you can do with what that situation is. And Justin Fields, I just don't know if he's gonna be a guy. I just don't know if he's got that skill set to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. So I don't know. I think it's Russ or nothing for them. So yeah, that's my predictions. Let me know what you think. What was a crazy take? What was a hot take that you thought was reasonable? What do you think I nailed? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. Like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. We're trying to make more content. School's starting, so we're going to try our best. So yeah, peace out.